Many congratulations on getting the captaincy across all three formats. How much of an honour is that for you?
Well, thank you. It's an absolute honour for me. I think as a youngster growing up, all I wanted to do was just play for India, and I never thought I'm going to be captain of even one format, let alone all three. It's an absolute honour as far as I'm concerned.
How do you manage your time, and how will you manage your time in the future? So much extra responsibility as captain, so much extra responsibility. You enjoy your fitness, you do a lot of fitness work, your fielding, your batting, all your commercial opportunities, people pulling you in different directions. How do you manage your time?
Well, luckily I don't have too many people in my life that I'm close to. I think that helps. If you have too many friends and too many people you speak to, I think you get really distracted, and then your time management becomes impossible. But I think somewhere down the line I've realized that as cricketers and as sportsmen, we already limit ourselves as to how much we want to do without even knowing how much we can do. And that's something I never put a limit on. I always wanted to explore more, understand what's my max ability as far as my intensity in the field is concerned, and even with managing time. The day I get burnt out is the day I start cutting down on things. I've never put any limitations on what I want to do in my life, and you just got to create a good balance and keep moving forward. Luckily, it's been fine till now, but I'm able to maintain a balance as of now. That's all I can say.
And it looks like you got that balance spot on. They are remarkable stats. What do you think you did really well in last year, apart from get loads of runs?
I've seen people have, dream years, and probably that was my dream run. I just try to keep things simple. I think what I was able to do in the past 12 months was strike a good balance between preparation and match intensity. I didn't over practice. I felt that I'm good enough to go and counter anything that's thrown at me. And that's something I tried to continue throughout the year. Obviously, performing consistently is never easy. So it's very important to get rid of the last performance and treat every match as a new day. And luckily it comes to me naturally that I'm excited about playing a cricket game every time I step onto the field. It doesn't matter whether I've got 300s in 3 innings, and fourth one is another opportunity for me. So
technique-wise, and also a bit mentally, between that series and the brilliant series you just had in Test matches?
Well, obviously the conditions are pretty different here. The ball swung much more in England, but the thing was that I put too much pressure on myself before going to England that I need to score here. As subcontinent players, I don't know why, but we are given these benchmarks to go and perform in different countries, and if you don't do, you need to have a perfectly clear head to score runs in England. And obviously technique is important as well, but even people with not that strong techniques have been able to score well there because of their good mindsets. And I wasn't able to get out of that desperation that continued, and the bowling attack obviously was quality as well. They kept the ball in the right areas. But I thought what I was doing there was I was expecting the in-swinger too much.
What exactly you mean by that?
I did a few different things. Firstly, I used to stand at 2-leg, and my stance was pretty closed. And then after my initial movement, I figured out that my initial movement was my toe wasn't going towards point, rather it was towards cover point. So anyways, my hip was opening up initially, and then to get the feel of the ball, I had to open up my hip because I was too side on. Anyways, I have a strong bottom hand grip. I didn't have too much room for my shoulder to adjust to the line of the ball, so it was too late for me to react to anything that swung, from in front of my eyes. So the changes I made was I went back, I did some drills about, making a couple of lines here, making sure that someone's recording me from the side. Every time I played the ball, I wanted to make sure that my toe is pointing in points direction rather than covers. That way I kept my hip nice and side on. I gave myself some room. I widened my stance as well so that I have good balance when I want to go forward. Short ball wasn't an issue for me, so that really helped in widening my stance and actually giving that forward press, which is really important at international level. Then when I went to Australia, I knew they're going to target me in that area, so immediately I just cut down everything. I wasn't worried about the pace and bounce. I knew I can counter that. I was prepared mentally, but the one thing I cut down was that good corridor. 80% of the balls I was able to hit for boundaries more often than not, because I was about a foot outside my crease and already on fourth stump, so they had to really bowl far from me. And I know on the pads, unless my body weight's far behind, it's very difficult for them to hit my pad, because I know that that is my strength.
How easy was that to change, and is it completely natural to you now?
It's become natural now. It wasn't easy. I was batting about 3 hours non-stop every day. I had cramps in my forearms by the end of the week. I did that for about 10 days, but it was just like in golf, they say you got to hit a shot about 400 or 500 times before you can actually perfect that shot. So it was more about precise practice, where I wanted to tune my head to play that way. I wasn't used to forward pressing. I was always used to waiting for the ball and clipping it off my legs or waiting for the short ball. But then I realized, even I took some help from Sachin as well. He made me realize the importance of approaching the fast bowler the way you approach a spinner. Is to get on top of the ball, not worrying about the pace or the swing. You got to get towards the ball, and then you give the ball lesser chance to move around and trouble you. So I think those things really, really helped me, and that became second nature.
Mumbai